What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Roxette. And we're going back to the 1992 album Tourism. I wanted to give a big shout out to all the rockstars out there who have helped me understand the framing of this album better, that it was composed while they were on tour, so there's live performances of tunes as well as reconfigurations of album tracks they had already recorded, presumably, trying these versions out as they went through the tour. So again, I have a better understanding of what this album is, and now it makes a bit more sense that there are more tracks on it than you might normally find on a studio album where there's, 8 to 12 tracks, something like that. So yeah, looking forward to the rest of it with that understanding. And the second track is called Fingertips. So yeah, there's no indication this one is live, or at the very least, it's not presented that way in the track listing. So, but yeah, fingertips are, the very pinnacle of our tactile sense, the things we use when we really want to get a sense for how something feels. Now, obviously, the way we use fingertips in a simple identifying manner for some object is different than the way we use them in intimate context with other humans, and ultimately, the concept behind that tactile immediacy, I think, can be expressed as indicative of emotion, or the bonds between people. So it is also fair to say, something at your fingertips is typically used to indicate something that you have immediate access to. It's at your immediate disposal. So yeah, that could even be in regard to a person. You got someone under your thumb, to borrow a line from another group. But yeah, ultimately, it makes me wonder, what the fingertips metaphor or the concept behind the usage of the term is. So curious to hear in what sense it is tactile, curious to hear in one sense it relates to, passions or emotions and so on. So let's find out. This is Roxette. The tune is Fingertips, and it's from the 1992 album Tourism. We got that acoustic, electric combination.
Sliding down a dream, oh yeah. The nights are born in blue, that's the truth. You're swimming in a stream, oh yeah. Fish are jumping too, next to you. Suddenly you notice someone's at the door. You could swear you've been through this all before. Then she runs her fingertips through your hair. Your life has just begun. Her fingers, they are everywhere. You're floating like air, leaving the ground. Then she shines on just like the sun. You're gazing at the sky, oh my. The stars are out tonight, shining bright. You're waving to a cloud, bye-bye. You're drowning in the smile of his eyes. Suddenly you feel there's no time for a deal. Though a voice tells you it's for real. And she runs her fingertips through your hair, and life has just begun. Her fingers there and everywhere. You're floating like air, leaving the ground. She shines on just like the sun. It's just the sunny afternoon. Somebody singing songs of love, child. floating like air, leaving the ground, and she shines on just like the sun.
I was going to comment on the bird sound, so I'm glad they came back, along with some other critters out there. Yeah, I love it. Again, it had that, there's been a couple times where they've had acoustic guitar in conjunction with electric guitar, which gives it this, it's still kind of that powerful Roxette, synth pop, synth rock feel, but there's this more folksy edge to it. Now, it wasn't quite as folksy as, say, Watercolors in the Rain, but it felt a little more down that path than some of their other tunes, which had this more, again, electric guitar driven, like heavier, bigger sounds. So I enjoyed the kind of in-between on their spectrum sound of this one. And I like the way there were different sensory experiences drawn into it. Like, it was primarily about fingertips, first running them through your own hair, and feeling the world, it seemed, but then, being with someone and, them running their fingers through your hair, and now, like, that tactility has, again, emotional and passionate connotations, and then we're talking about, like, feeling like you're floating off the ground, like you're air, and so that's like a different type of sensation, even if it is still tactile, and like, shining like the sun, this, the bright visuals of that emotional feeling perhaps, and the way that you're seeing this other person. So yeah, it felt like it was drawing in some different senses as it got through the idea of, I think, again, having that tactile experience, not just, as a person in the world, but also with someone special. And yeah, like I said, I enjoyed not only the combination of the couple different guitars and that folksy electronic blend, but also the fact that they both sung on the track. I enjoy when they're both on a tune, and it's fair to say Mary's voice is the one that's going to hit me stronger, on almost every occasion. But it always makes me smile when I hear Para come in, especially when it's like the first voice on the tune. It's like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Hello, sir. So another one where they're both on it, and I enjoy that. So looking forward to the rest of the album. Shout out to all the Rocksters. I really do appreciate